A client project can be finished, paid for, and still be costing you future business because its best evidence is trapped in a folder nobody searches. But one verified outcome can become a case study, a portfolio story, a proposal proof point, and a sharper outreach question without inventing a single claim.
That sounds painfully familiar.
The work gets delivered, the client gets the result, and then the freelancer remembers only the broad version. I helped them a lot. Useful memory. Weak sales asset.
And I'm Sophia Rodriguez. Let's make this actually work for you. The boundary is important. The system can organize and draft your evidence. It cannot grant permission, create a missing metric, or take credit for work you did not do.
We call it the AI evidence engine. Think of it as a controlled pipeline from finished project to reviewed proof asset. Before anything reaches a model, ask 3 questions. Do I have permission to use this? Is this data approved for processing? What must stay private?
Right. A client saying, "Great job," is not automatically permission to publish their name, screenshots, revenue, or internal process.
Use written consent when you need a public example. Otherwise, create an anonymized version or keep it private for proposals. The goal is not maximum exposure. It is useful, accurate evidence for the right conversation.
Show me the smallest stack that can do this.
Here's the exact prompt and stack. Use one structured database in Notion or Google Drive, one approved language model, one automation layer such as Make or Zapier, and one publishing hub. That hub might be a portfolio page, a private proposal library, or a content calendar. Keep it boring at first. Boring systems survive airport Wi-Fi.
And add a review too.
Absolutely. Your record moves through intake, redacted, drafted, needs review, approved, and archived. When it reaches redacted, the automation sends only approved fields to the model. The model extracts candidate evidence,
And that is where the review queue has to appear. Otherwise, a generated draft feels finished simply because it has a headline and clean formatting.
Exactly. The form should capture the original problem, baseline situation, action taken, measurable outcome, evidence link, approved language, restrictions, attribution, and intended audience. One consistent record beats a clever system that takes 40 minutes to maintain.
The form is the real foundation then, not the fanciest model.
Correct. Give the model a redacted record. Then use this extraction prompt. Act as an evidence analyst. Use only the information supplied. Extract the initial situation, intervention, measurable outcomes, and an explicitly provided client quote, and one transferable lesson. For every claim, cite the source field or evidence reference. If a fact is missing, write not provided. Never infer a number, cause, or quote.
Not provided is a feature, not a failure.
Then run a separate privacy check. Replace names, company names, locations, unique product names, exact dates, and identifying numerical combinations with accurate general descriptions. Preserve the meaning. Show every replacement in a changelog. Do not invent substitute facts. Redact before processing whenever possible.
Wait, I want to challenge the phrase, "let the engine run." People often automate the whole funnel. I'm not sure I buy that for evidence content.
What would make you stop it?
A simple example. Your redesign goes live in April. A pricing change happens in April too. The draft says your redesign caused a 20% conversion increase. It sounds excellent, but the evidence only shows that the increase happened afterward. Automation has turned timing into causation.
That's the catch. I would not publish that sentence. I would add a causation field to the evidence table. Verified, supported association, estimate, or unknown. Then the prompt says, do not claim causation unless the source supports it. Automate the movement of information, not the final judgment.
Now I buy it. The human plus AI advantage is not a ceremonial approval click. It is human context at the moment context matters.
Once the evidence table is approved, transform it with this prompt. Using only the approved evidence table, write a case study with problem, context, action, verified result, and lesson.
Then create a 5-sentence portfolio version, 3 evidence-based proposal bullets, and 2 questions for a prospect with a similar problem. Keep every number unchanged. Label estimates. Remove unsupported superlatives.
That is enough. 1 detailed story, 1 short story, 3 proposal points, and 2 useful questions. Not 47 posts about how excited you are to announce a new chapter.
Exactly. Imagine a redacted record for a regional subscription company. The evidence says a reporting workflow went from 8 manual steps to 3, based on a documented process review. Your portfolio story can explain the problem and the change. Your proposal can say, I have helped simplify a comparable reporting process without pretending you transformed the entire business.
And attribution might say, the client team implemented the new process while you designed and documented it. That sentence protects accuracy and usually makes the result more believable.
After approval, the automation can save the long version to your portfolio hub, place proposal points in a searchable library, and add 1 short lesson to a review calendar. Notice the phrase after approval. The system prepares your work. It does not impersonate your judgment.
A beach is not a compliance strategy.
For a nomad, keep maintenance simple. Review new records, check drafts, and fix 1 confusing field each week. Review integrations monthly. If an automation creates more maintenance than value, remove it. This changes everything for nomads only when it reduces cognitive load instead of becoming another dashboard to babysit.
And it can create income in 2 honest ways. First, use a relevant proof point in selective outreach, so you spend less time sending broad messages. Second, package the setup for freelancers or small agencies that have good work trapped in folders.
You can package the workflow as a fixed scope service.
But include training and handoff. Otherwise, the client cannot operate it without you, and you have built yourself a support obligation across 3 time zones.
Right. Offer an inventory, redaction rules, database structure, configured prompts, an approval workflow, a first batch of assets, and an operating guide. Charge for scope and implementation. Do not promise a certain number of leads, and never claim AI alone created a client result.
Before publication, check consent, confidentiality, source links, causation, quote approval, attribution, accessibility, and clarity. Can a busy buyer understand the problem and result without opening a chart? If not, improve the story before adding another integration.
Your 24-hour challenge is deliberately small. Choose 1 completed project, preferably the one with the clearest evidence rather than the most glamorous outcome. Make a copy. Redact names, locations, private communications, and restricted figures. Fill in the baseline, intervention, outcome, and source link.
Then ask 1 real person to read the draft. Can they tell what problem you solved? Can they see the result? Do they understand what you contributed?
Run the extraction prompt. Verify every claim and approve 1 5-sentence portfolio story or 1 proposal proof point within 24 hours. 1 asset, not 10. Momentum comes from finishing the first trustworthy version.
Start small, but think big.
A finished project becomes a structured evidence record. That record becomes reviewed proof for your portfolio, proposals, and outreach. The automation handles movement and reminders. You protect privacy, verify the claims, and decide what deserves to be public. That is how you build a portable client pipeline without manufacturing authority.
That's your AI blueprint for today. Ready to implement this at a higher level? Enroll in our high-income remote skills courses at nomadlifesuccess.com/courses. Choose your project today, build 1 verified proof asset tomorrow, and use the course to strengthen the workflow when you are ready.
1 project, 1 verified asset. Then improve from there.
Automate the ordinary. Amplify the extraordinary.